Hello there. I guess it's been like a really long time, but welcome back to my goober little show. It's almost been a month. I'm so sorry. I love you now. um, it's been a rough couple of weeks if I'm being real. But you know what? We stay silly. Realistically speaking, there are adversities and stuff, yada yada yada. I don't even know what I'm yapping about, but welcome back to the show. It is, I don't know, I guess I included my little rant about my goober charger or whatever as episode 6, so it's already episode 7. Yeah, cool beans, I guess. I don't really know, but I've literally forgotten my actual intro for this show. So I'm just going to kind of do something, I guess. So hello, my lovely listeners. You probably didn't miss me, but here we are making another episode, I suppose. Just go ahead, sit down and listen to another update. And today's topic, which is going to be obviously about, as you probably read in the title, 5 things I've recently been obsessed with. I feel like I've kind of gone over this before with I think one of my first episodes, the 4 debuting episodes that I had where I was talking about unpopular opinions. I don't know. It kind of resonates with the same thing, but I'm kind of a broken record. So let's be real. But I don't know. I guess we'll just get into it, I suppose. Perchance. Anyway, to start, a small update, I guess, and watch this, little, quote-unquote, little update, be, majority of the episode. Watch. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, little update. In these past 3 weeks, I've hit peak summer break, gang. I'm so happy. I'm done with school until August again, and then watch it begin really early in August again. I don't know what's up with my school, but being overachiever, I guess, because they start school pretty early, but then they end it relatively early too. It's average, but whatever. Hold on, I gotta yawn. But anyway. So I finished school. Hallelujah, I'm gonna be a whole junior. I'm going insane. Also, another cool event that's happened is that, my birthday went by, a solid, I think, 2 weeks ago, a week or 2 ago, my birthday. So, yippee. I'm so happy about that. Oh my gosh. I had a pretty relatively big birthday party. I had a great time at my birthday party. I invited a bunch of my friends. I'm sad though, because a lot of them weren't really vibing with each other, and it literally broke my heart. So it was kind of awkward, but I really enjoyed getting to see everybody, and I loved the presents that I got from both my friends and my family. It was lovely. Hashtag live, laugh, love. But that there was that, and then school's over, so until next year. And let me rant about that for a minute. Let me ramble. So next year is the year I'm supposed to be graduating. Next year I'm going to be a junior, and I'm supposed to be graduating early as a junior, considering that I took college classes to make up for the classes I'll be, the core classes I'll be taking as a senior. But the thing is I'm there's 2 life options I'm thinking about right now, because for once in my life I'm actually not considering being dead for once. There's that one song, it's just it was by what was her name, Penelope. I can't remember her name. I love her music though. It's just in my defense, I wasn't supposed to be alive this long. So anyways, banger, by the way. Please go listen to her music. Please tell me someone who listens to this is going to get that reference. I'll literally combust into non-biodegradable glitter ASAP. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm supposed to be graduating next year. At least I'm trying to. But I suck. I've like gone so academically downhill. It's actually insane. Like when I was promoted from 8th grade into high school, I was like within the top 10 like students in terms of GPA. And now my GPA is so freaking low, like you'd think that I'm just going to combust. Like I'm just going to explode or something. I don't know. I don't know. I wish it was a joke, but I don't know. And then realistically speaking as well, I didn't do good in my college classes either. I failed my college classes. College classes, like, it was going great at first, but then, like, a bunch of, like, emotional stuff happened. I'm weak emotionally, so, like, when all of the stuff hit at once, like, I literally blew up. This particular year, I swear, chemistry kicked my ass. I will continue to dislike chemistry for, like, my entire life. I'm telling you. It's not cute, but we're gonna pray Edgenuity is gonna get me through like this year, and then I have to take like my SATs next year as well, so like I'm gonna literally combust next year. But let's see. It's like it's giving the same vibes as, is this gonna be finals week or my final week? Like next year is kind of like the defining thing for whether or not I'm gonna drop out and get a GED, or if I'm gonna like graduate. Like that's like the two things I've got going for myself right now. My two paths that I'm gonna take here, realistically speaking, is I'm either going to graduate early next year and like live, laugh, love, and slay or whatever, be class of 2026, because I'm not doing class of 2024. No, class of 20. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. I don't know my years. I'm either going to graduate early as a junior, like 1 year earlier than usual as a junior, and be in the class of 2026, or I'm going to drop out my junior year and get a GED. Those are both viable options. Like a lot of my, like, I'm pretty sure my dad in my family of like my uncles and all his siblings and stuff, I'm pretty sure my dad was the only one who got a high school diploma. Sucks now though, because, you know, he's a raging alcoholic and shit, but like, oh, sorry, was a raging alcoholic. He's not anymore, trust. Love the smidges of trauma there. But, he was, like, the only one who got a high school diploma. And, like, I'm pretty sure both of my other uncles, they got a GED. So, like, it's natural. It's, like, the natural flow of things. Like, it's not the end of the world if, like, I don't graduate, you know? It's fine. I don't... It won't really affect me personally, but you know, there is that. That's my little rant on that. So I'm a little nervous about next year, but you know, it's whatever. And then the update and everything else of things. I've been just trying to get my life together, because in like my current state of life, I've like reached working age where like you can like legally work without a work permit now, and I'm like, hallelujah. But then I realize I actually have to, like, be the one to be trying to get a job. So, like, recently I've been, like, filling out a bunch of, like, job applications and stuff. P.S. I'm not actually filling out job applications. I'm just talking out of my ass. I've had, like, I've filled out, like, maybe one job application. And I haven't even turned it in. It's, like, a Dairy Queen one. But I really need to work. I really need to work, and I really need to save up so I can, like, not blow up and like want to murder myself, okay? Or working through some things. As you know, as people do. So yeah, there is that. We will be working soon. I love Dairy Queen. Please hire me, Dairy Queen. I'm trying to find some work at like please don't make me work as like a cashier. I'm fine with working with food. Food is like, like my mommy's worked in food, my sister's work in food, and all they do is like talk massive shite about like working in food. So I know the downsides of working in it, but like I'm willing to accept those downsides, okay? Because like I'm a poor, like pretty much right now full-time student without like in between the school years. I need money, okay? My family's impoverished. Like, our fridge is empty, both at my current house and my mommy's house and my dad's house. Fridge is empty. We don't get fed. Like, just earlier this month, our electricity got turned off. Over at my mom's, we barely, like, we're trying to renovate and stuff, and I'm like, gang, do we have the money to be funding all this? I don't know. This whole thing, but whatever. Who am I to judge? But it'd really help if, like, I could contribute a little something, or at least, like, maybe save up, so I wouldn't have to, like, I don't know, end up like one of those, like, 21-year-olds who, like, lives at their parents' house and, like, does nothing all day. That is, like, I'm sorry, that's an all-time low. I'll literally explode. I'm sorry. But we're trying not to get to that point. Life is good. Life is great. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So we're trying to go through the motions as one does, and we're trying to get past that. Like, these 3 past weeks or so, I managed to pass, like, most of my finals, I think. The only class I didn't pass was my chemistry, and I was, like, 1 point off. And she, like, said, if you come back in, and, like, try and retake your test or something, I'll help. We can get you that 1 point to, like, make you pass. But I was not doing that. I'm sorry. It's so exhausting doing all that. And I already finished. Like, I'm not doing all that. Like, that Thursday at 10 a.m., once I finished all my classes, I was out of there. I asked my grandma to get me. I'm out of there. Who's stopping me? It's the last day of school. Who is stopping me from leaving? So I dipped out, and I'm not going back until August, okay? Like, that's it. Leave me alone. So after class ended, like, I got, like, literally right after the same day, like, the last day of school for me, after that, I had to go to, like, to continue the update, I had to go to the dental office that same day. I had to go to the dentist. And that same day, they worked on 6 cavities. One thing about me is that, like, I think it's genetics or something, but, like, when you're young, the cavities don't happen as often. It's like you're more resistant as a child to cavities. Like, I remember having, like, maybe only 1 or 2 cavities, like, my entire childhood. And that was, like, at most. Like, yeah, back then, you had to, like, get your teeth pulled out here and there because, like, my genetics also built that, like, I have really big teeth. That's a thing, okay? But, I didn't really have cavities. And I took relatively good, like, care of my teeth. Like, yeah, maybe I didn't floss, but, like, I liked, not really, I guess I did, but taking care of my teeth was something that was important to me. Even if I had overcrowdedness and I had braces and I needed braces and stuff. Despite all that, taking care of my teeth was important to me. So I didn't really have cavities when I was younger. But I loved eating sweets. And somehow that didn't, like, blow each other up somehow. But as I got older, somehow, while I was continuing to, like, take the same amount of candy that I, like, ate from before, that same amount, somehow it gave me cavities as I grew older and, like, left pre-adolescence or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's, like, some genetic thing that's going on there, but it's not a huge deal. Anyway, I had, like, 6 cavities, and I just got out of, like, my finals for that day, last day of school. And, like, on Friday was, like, makeup finals, but, like, either way, it was whatever. I get out of my class that same day. I was waiting in the library with my friends, who are also, like, trying to, like, wait for their finals to be over and stuff. If you don't have, like, a last class of the day, then you're good, you can leave. But, like, I don't have a vehicle, so I was waiting in the library with some of my friends who also didn't have, like, any finals left. So we were just chilling in the library, and I was waiting for, like, my grandma to come and pick me up. And, you know, we waited at the park for a little bit, and then we went over to the dental office because, like, it was in the afternoon or so. So we had to wait for a little bit. When 2 o'clock finally hits, I get there, you know, I'm living, laughing, and loving. I come out. not good. They work on these 6 teeth. Now, here's something to keep in mind here. So I go in I go in the dental office. They start working on me. It's great. It's living, laughing, and loving. Until like the lady who's doing my teeth injects me. She's just like, okay, time to inject you. Not only did like the needle, I could actually feel the needles. Like, she took a second to like poke it in me, and then she didn't immediately put in like the numbing stuff, and she didn't put like numbing spray or anything. She just like kind of went in there raw, and I'm like, oh. And I mean, yeah, maybe technically you don't need to, but like I would have liked to have it. Okay, it's whatever. It's like, this is my particular first time like going to this dentist place, so like, I don't know. So basically I go in, and she gives me an injection to like numb my mouth on both sides, and I'm like, okay. And then like after like 10 minutes go by, I'm watching Turning Red, because they have the little televisions like where you get to watch shows while you're getting your teeth worked on, so you're not bored, which I love, by the way. But I did not love what happened after this. So like it's like hell on earth, to be real. My teeth got worked on. They were working on this, but the thing was, after 10 minutes, she came. The dentist lady comes back, and she's like, "Hey, is your lip numb?" And I'm like, "Oh, not really." And she's just like, "Okay, I'm gonna have to give you a third one." And I'm already kind of skittish around. Like, recently, I've noticed I'm getting more skittish around needles, and I'm like, "Oh, no." So I fix up. I'm just like, no, I lied my way out of that. And I was like, just give it a little longer. I feel like my tongue getting numb. I'm sure it's getting up there. I lied. It was in fact not. So I don't know. After this, she comes back in like another 10 minutes. And then she's just like, okay, I'm sure you're numb enough. Let's get started. I go through like what feels like endless hours of torture. They're like drilling into my teeth, and my teeth aren't all that numb, so I feel it. And I'm like, ow, 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 ow. And then I finally get out. I'm dizzy and stuff because, I guess I'm like a really bad gum bleeder and stuff, So like my blood doesn't really clot properly when it's in my mouth. I don't know. It's always kind of been a thing with me, but in my mouth I bleed a little easier, and it's a little harder to get it to stop. So like I've like lost a reasonable amount of blood, and I'm already anemic as is, so I'm kind of blowing up. I feel dizzy and stuff. I get up, I'm dizzy. I ask my mom to help. She's kind of trying to listen to the doctor, and she's trying to like failing to help me at the same time. It's okay, it's whatever. I'm like trying to soldier it out of the freaking thing. I'm dizzy, as I said. I'm blowing up, and then I walk out, and by the time I get out, I'm like sobbing because like usually before this, like it's never really been a thing to me that like hating the dentist. Like I'm fine with the dentist for the most part, but like this has been like my first like real bad experience with the dentist before, and I'm like, oh, ow, ow. And then like days after this, I'm like in pain, constant pain with my freaking teeth, only to later find out that I guess they somehow managed to bruise my nerve when they were drilling into my teeth. I guess they bruised the nerve somehow, so I guess I've got nerval bruising, and like that's what's been hurting me, because like days after that, for like a whole week straight, proceeding to my birthday party, I've had this terrible toothache and stuff, and I was taking 1,500, like, keep this in mind, 3 capsules of Tylenol, 500 milligrams, every 2 hours. Now, this is not, obviously, when you think about it, put it into perspective, I'm popping 3 pills of Tylenol every 2 hours, so if, like, I don't know, I wake up relatively late, so, like, for 12 hours straight, pretty much, I don't know, and, obviously, that's an abnormal amount of Tylenol for someone to be consuming, so I'm just like, oh, my grandma catches me one day taking this amount of Tylenol, or, like, going back she catches me coming back, and she's just like, what are you taking Tylenol for? And I'm like, oh, I got a toothache, and she finds out about it, and then the day before my birthday, my family finally decides that they're going to take me to the ER and get my toothache dealt with. And I'm like, okay. Okay, and then obviously I get scolded for being a burden and stuff, yada, 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 the usual. But I'm like, oh. So they get, they're trying to deal with the whole toothache thing, blah, 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 blah. They don't pull my teeth, obviously. I don't know. That's what my freaking stepdad said they were going to do, but they don't do that at the ER. I guess not the one I went to, but whatever. They were like, hey, like, when I told them about the whole, very concerning amount of Tylenol, they were like, that is not okay. They even wrote on my chart abuse of Tylenol, which, understandably, it sounds like that. So, they come back to me and they're like, hey, we need to run some blood tests. You're taking way too much Tylenol. We need to make sure you don't have any kidney or liver damage. And I'm like, okay. So keep in mind, before this in the waiting room, we've had to wait like 5 to 6 hours because, the ER runs in terms of like severity of like injuries and stuff. So like a toothache isn't that bad. Like I'm suffering, but like it's whatever compared to whatever else and whatever other kind of injuries that other people in the ER had, But eventually we get in there, and when we do, they fix my teeth up and they give me the solution, and then they tell me to cool it down on the Tylenol, and I'm like, okay. So obviously you're only supposed to be taking like 4,000 milligrams of Tylenol per day. So like even if you wake up at 1,000 milligrams every 6 hours, and there's only 24 hours in a day. So if you somehow wake up at 12 in the morning and you take some, you have to wait till 6 a.m. to take some, and then you wait till then you wait till 6 p.m. to take some, and then it circles back around, yada, yada, yada. That's the max amount you're supposed to be taking, at most, And that's supposed to be lasting you, but I don't know. But anyways, when they run the blood test back to me after, poking me with the IV and stuff, and giving me my medicine, and then clearing it up with, the blood test, they come back to me, and they're like, hey, so somehow you don't have liver or kidney damage. Hallelujah. We're going to give you this, IV liquidy kind of solution to help with your tooth pain for a little bit, and then in a couple of hours you can go back to the Tylenol, and then just tone it down, make sure. And then they turn to my grandma and they're like, make sure you monitor how much she's taking, okay? The amount she's taking could be lethal. And then they were like, okay, yay. I gotta yawn again. That was a bad yawn, but whatever. Anyways, after all this happens, the next day, we have to drive another hour. Not the next day yet. After this ER visit, it's practically nighttime, and we have to take another hour to drive home. And then we finally go to sleep, and then, yada, yada, yada. I wake up the next morning, and it's my birthday. And we go to the park to host my little birthday party. And then eventually, by the day's end, I've gotten lots of gifts. I've had a great time, It's living, laughing, and loving. And I'm enjoying it, After that, yada, yada, yada. Days go by, one mesh of pretty much the same day over and over and over again. Life is kind of boring. But it's kind of beautiful whenever it's, I don't know. Life is meaningful and stuff, Hope core. But eventually my friend, one of my friend calls me, and he's like, hey, did I tell you about the other part of your birthday present? I'm like, no, what is it? And he was like, oh, well, I wanted to treat you to boba. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So he's like, hey, we can probably go this weekend. And I'm like, okay. I'll have to see if my grandparents can take me or not. Otherwise, I might have to stay at my mommy's, so I'm in town. And then he's just like, okay. So I go through all this trouble to make sure I'm at my mom's that weekend. And, later within the call, he had mentioned, he's just like, oh, by the way, you're going to be pretty much third wheeling with me and my girlfriend. And I'm like, okay. So long as I get the boba, I guess. What go off, I guess. You know, either way, by the end of this, I'm like, oh. And then like the day before the actual thing, I'm like, okay, we're living, laughing, and loving. Yippee! That we agreed we were going to do it on Sunday. And by Saturday, the day before we're supposed to be going, I'm like, I go to sleep thinking I'm gonna be going to get boba, with him and his girlfriend, and I'm like okay with it. Only to find out that his girlfriend canceled on him, and then he was like, oh, well, I don't really know if I want to go, and I'm like, bro, you promised me boba, and he was like, okay. So, I'm still expecting to go with him, but not with his girlfriend, because his girlfriend couldn't make it, only to find out, like, maybe 2 hours before we're supposed to meet up, that he can't go either, because he has this thing with his family, and I'm like, bro, I already told my mommy I'm gonna go, so I'm gonna go. I'm like exploding, and I'm like, oh, it's whatever. So I go to the place we're supposed to be going to, which is the mall. There's this little boba shop in the food court of the mall, and it's great. It's pretty good too. So I go to the mall, and the first thing I do is, obviously, instead of going to get boba first, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck around in here. So I'm living, laughing, and loving, and I decided to go see a movie. I watched the new Karate Kid movie, and it's actually pretty good. I love it, actually. Banger. Banger, 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 banger. I come out of the movie theaters, and I notice people are looking at me kind of crazy, and I'm like, huh. Why are y'all looking at me like that? I don't know. I don't even remember how I ended up realizing this, but I come out, and I realize that I've gotten popcorn butter all over my very white dress. And I'm like, oh, shucks. So, like, I high-key, low-key look like I pissed myself. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not very... So, like, I'm not living, laughing, and loving. And, like, I barely have any money left because I was only given so much money to go and get boba, because I mentioned that bro was supposed to be paying for most of it, and they were like, oh, okay, well, you probably don't need that much money then. So they gave me a limited amount of money, and then they were like, okay, well, take this as you will, yada yada yada. I bought but the thing is that he didn't end up coming. And, I didn't mention that to them, because if I told them that I was going to this mall by myself, peak daylight, as a teenage girl, they were probably going to say no. So I'm not doing that. Obviously, I'm very safe when I go out by myself. I'm not going to make myself vulnerable in some kind of way or whatever. Okay? Be chill. But I have a limited amount of money, and I spent most of it at the movie theaters, and I'm like, oh, shucks. So I go to the nearest little shop to try and find a dress where I can, like change into, so I don't have to be showing this butter stain. And eventually I'm, like, looking through the dresses, and I find one that's pretty cute, and I read the tag, and it says it's $6, and I'm like, oh my god, that is such a steal. So I go into the thing, and then eventually I get up to the counter, and then she rings it up, and she's just like, okay, that'll be $16. And I'm like, oh, I only have $14, and it's $16. And she's just like, and then I'm like, oh, well, can you just cancel it? I'm sorry. And she's just like, yeah, sure, okay. And then I'm like, oh, shucks, I don't have enough money. And I go back into the dress section, and I'm trying to, because, like, it's easier to find a one piece to buy instead of, like, looking for half and half. So, so I'm looking through all the dresses, and I'm talking on the phone with my friend at this point. I'm like, you know what? Should I just leave and go get some of the boba by myself with the money I have left, instead of spending money on a dress and only having a little bit to go get boba? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I leave the shop, and then I'm going down to the food court, doing my best to, once again, cover up this butter stain I've got. I'm exploding, and I'm walking my way down to the food court. I finally make it, and then You know, it's empty by the time I go into the food court. It's empty, and I'm like, hallelujah. I don't have to be publicly embarrassed by this freaking butter stain. But all of a sudden, like, I'm just, like, deciding, I'm sitting there talking on the phone with my friend still, and I'm, like, contemplating what I want to get, and yada, yada, yada. I go back up, and before this, me and this friend I'm on the phone with, we've already gotten, we've went to this, like, boba shop together as is. And then she was like, hey, maybe you should get some of, like, the little bao buns that they have over there. And I'm like, ooh, that's a banger. Because, like, they have, like, shredded chicken. I don't know I forgot what they're called. But, like, shredded chicken bao buns. Little, like, the massive dumpling balls. You know, I don't know. I probably sound so gooberish right now. But she's just like, you should get some of those. They were, like, $2 the last time we went. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, according to my calculations, because I wanted to get a large boba, which was, I think, like, $6.25. Really good price, I think, in my opinion. And then if I got some bao buns, well, each bao bun cost, I think it was like $2.75. Solid. They're pretty big too. And they come fresh. Like, that's a banger for your buck. After calculating it, and I'm like, okay, I'll have money to pay for tax and stuff even after this. I'm good. So I go up, I order my stuff. They give me the little thing that'll buzz when your order's ready. I grab it, I sit down for a second. I come back, I get the thing, and then I call my mom to come and pick me up. And then after that, we go home. I tell her about the whole butter thing. She's like, oh, shucks. And I obviously blame it on the dude who called me out. Sorry for ruining your rep, not gonna lie. But by the end of this, I've had a pretty good day and yada yada yada. And that was actually, like, really recent ago. But that's me recalling everything that's happened pretty much until now. There was also a visit I made to the town that my dad lives in. He lives far away or whatever. You know, we found out his girlfriend's really controlling and stuff, and, you know, constantly thinks she's being cheated on. And, you know, I don't know. My dad has, I don't know. His taste in women is a little concerning. He always picks the crazy ones. But who am I to judge? You know. But, you know, he's not doing terrible. We did that, like, right after I got out of school. Like, I think Friday or Saturday of the week I got taken out of school. Well, like, school ended. We went to go visit him, and, you know, everything went according to plan. We did a little grocery shopping to bring home, and yada yada yada. You know, I'm not really gonna go into detail about that, but, you know, that brings us to the current moment. I'm just living, laughing, and loving now. I have to get a job soon. Things that might be happening soon is two things should be happening now. Well, three things. My friend has invited me and our friend group to go out to, I'm not gonna say where because that's weird, but she's invited us to go with her and, like, her family, to, like, this, what do you call it? To, like, this amusement park thing. And she's just like, hey, you guys should come along. And she said it was, like, June, I don't know. I forgot. But she said it was, like, sometime, actually, it might be tomorrow. I don't remember when she said it was. It's not, like, a definite thing. She hasn't given us any, like, exact details or, like, where to meet up and, you know, if we need to bring any money or anything. But if you couldn't tell, our friend group's kind of bad at planning, like, hangouts and stuff, unfortunately. But either way, I think the plans are gonna fall through personally, and, you know, it is what it is. But since I'm, like, clearly not getting a job in the eyes of my grandma, she thinks she's gonna send me off with my sister to go, like, hang out with my uncle out in Utah for a bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that, to be edged, because, like, realistically speaking, I'll still have, like, a month left to, like, goob off for, and by goob off, I mean hopefully find a job. and hopefully a job I'll be able to stay at, you know? Like, working is probably what I need. I don't know. All I do is bum around and be sad. And, you know, what more can one do? If I don't keep myself busy, it just reminds me of the never dying void within my heart. So, you know, I gotta fill my life with something. And if that's work, call me a workaholic, you know? But, you know, I'd really like to work in food. And free discounts. I love employee discounts. So, and plus, having to work at like, retail stores and, like, stuff that sells clothes and stuff, I'm sorry, that's just not my thing. There's probably stuff like commission, and there's so much that goes into that. I couldn't do it personally. Unfortunately, you know. But, we're hoping to get into food because yummy. And, you know, I need to do something this summer. So there is that. That's, like, the update for, like, hopefully stuff that's going to be happening and stuff that's happened in the time that I have been gone for. But now, oh dear God, like I told you, that thing took, like, most of this episode up. So I'm sorry for going on this probably not cute rant about my life up to now. But, let's move on. Let's go on to a bigger and brighter topic, which is, you know, obviously the topic we've come to talk about recently. I'm starting to talk nonsense. It's probably all the coffee I consumed just a little while ago, but let's talk about, like, the 5 things I've recently been obsessed with, okay? So, those 5 things. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. I love yapping, and I dislike yapping at the same time. So, one of the things I've been considering recently to be, like, obsessed with, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's like life improvement, actually. I can't, I've never been the type to, like, really, like, care about, like, I don't really find value in my life, realistically speaking. You know, life is beautiful, yada, 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 blah, blah. But, like, I don't know, I just don't really feel like there's much value in my life, and I'm like, but, like, I don't know if, like, like, my TikTok For You page has been, like, sensing that or whatever, but I've been getting, like, a bunch of those, like, set your heart ablaze type videos where, like, it wants you to become your only job is to become better than what you were yesterday. And I'm like, ooh, that's a banger. So that's, like, its own thing. One of the things I've been getting really into is, like, self-improvement. And another thing I've also been getting really into again is self-love. Like, I don't know. Recently, you know, things are hard, and, you know, being an American is only getting worse by the day, but I don't know. I've been learning to, like, try in my own way to, like, love who I am, because, I mean, I'm trying. Those two things kind of interlink to each other, but they're both different things in their own way. Like, one is trying to, like, make me the best person I can be, like, giving the whole goal of, like, your only job in life is to be a better you than you were yesterday, which I love, by the way. And I don't know. There's, yeah. But I feel like self-love is, like, loving yourself, even if you can't be better than you were yesterday. Like, even if all you do is sleep all day and, like, you can't bring yourself to do anything but, like, sob during your free time. Even if, like, there's a lot that goes into that, because, like, for literally most of my life, I don't know. We're not cooking, but, and I don't know. The moment I turned 16, I just looked at myself. I don't know. It just kind of hit me all at once, but I was just like, I don't suck that much. I don't look that bad. I do my best, and that means something. Maybe not to everybody, but to me. And there's something really beautiful about that. And no matter, like, what anyone else says, no one can take that feeling away from me if I, like, choose to make it a part of me. Like, if I choose to embrace my feeling of self-love. And that's something that's hit me recently. And I'm like, whoa, that's really insane. And I'm like sitting here like, wow, is this what all those like positive self-love influencers were talking about all this time? Like, learning to love yourself? Was it that easy this whole time? Like, I don't know. It just hit me like literally a little bit after my birthday party. It hit me that I'm not really all that ugly at all. I'm inside and out. I'm not an objectively bad person. At least in my opinion, obviously. And I've been getting told stuff like, you're beautiful, and like there are qualities about me and stuff that like make me objectively beautiful, or like at least personality wise. And I didn't see it at all. And I remember like years ago, like back in middle school, one of my friends, like, there was this incident, not really an incident, but there's this particular moment I remember, and she was like, back then I had like relatively bad acne. I didn't know how to take care of my skin very properly, and I broke out a lot, and I was like, ooh. And pimple patches back then weren't a huge thing, or like it wasn't really very popular back then, so you know, I didn't really know what to do other than kind of just let it hang out. And I was like, oh. So back in middle school, I didn't like the way I looked and stuff, but I look back and I'm like, I wasn't that bad looking, but you know, yeah, everyone's got that middle school phase. But continuing though, I remember that friend, she was like, like, I was like, oh, my acne, meow, 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 meow. And to try and make me feel better, she said, you know, your acne looks like you have strawberries on your face. Like, your face is so beautiful that it makes it look like you have strawberries. Like, you're literally glowing strawberries out of your face. I don't remember the exact compliment, but it was something along the lines of that. Like, you have strawberries on your face. Like, you're so cute. And that was really endearing, but obviously I didn't see it that way. I was so stuck up in my own, like, self-loathing that, like, I objectively found it impossible to see myself that way. And I was like, whoa, no. I don't remember exactly what I said, because keep in mind, this was years ago, but I remember denying it, and she said, wow. She said something along the lines of, like, wow, you really can't take a compliment, can you? And, like, I don't know. This has been, like, kind of a repeating problem for a lot of my friendships from back then. But I ran away a lot. I ran away from my home life. I ran away from my school. I ran away from my friends. Because I objectively, like, why do I keep saying objectively? Hello? I couldn't see what I meant. Like, what role I had in their lives. I couldn't see it. But now I feel like, I don't know. I sometimes I just, like, lay in my bed and I wonder, what could have happened if I had just stuck with it? If I had stayed in that same household, if I had continued to go to that same middle school instead of transferring out, and what could have happened? I don't know, but I certainly wouldn't be here. Like, not like, okay, that makes it sound like I probably would have killed myself. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. But I don't know. I just think about that a lot, but there's just something, I don't know. Self-improvement and learning to love yourself. Those are just two things I've been really obsessed with recently. Trying to be someone who can be a role model, or like be someone who can leave the world just a little better than how it was when I like I don't know. I'm trying to put the stuff in like words, and it's like, I don't know, it's becoming what do you like, I don't know, brain mush. I don't know. This podcast is just me rambling, and it's supposed to be this entire podcast is just supposed to be something almost like a joke, but to me it's just being, or like showing like the kind of the realism, or like the realism of life, or like to many of my friends, because the whole reason behind me making this quote unquote comeback with my channel or whatever was so that my friends could have something to go to sleep with, because one of my particular friends, she loved hearing me ramble on and on before she went to bed, and that's how she went to sleep. Just hearing me yap was how she got a restful night of sleep. And I mean, she doesn't really ask me to do that anymore. Sometimes she'll just ask me to put on some wooden soup ASMR, which I love that, by the way. That's a banger, but I don't know. I feel like a lot is like currently lying in what I want to do with my life now. It's like, and that kind of ties into like another thing I'm like starting to obsess with, and the third thing is mindfulness, like thinking about the actions I make, and brainwash again, but I don't even know. I probably sound all depressed and stuff, don't I? I'm gonna turn into biodegradable glitter. Not even unbiodegradable. I'm gonna be biodegradable. Oh, confetti. I don't know, but anyway, I don't know. I feel like this little podcast thing I've got going is like my way of kind of letting things out sometimes, because, contrary to popular belief within my friends, I actually don't really like to talk completely about myself. I feel like in a lot of my relationships, I tend to focus it more on other people, and I feel like I need to be more open. I said this to one of my friends recently when I was trying to comfort her, but there will always be things that I won't talk about. And that it's kind of that way for everybody, right? Like, there will always be experiences, past traumas, incidents, etc., that other people won't want to talk about. But you shouldn't have to feel like you should be able to, like, okay, English. The point behind that is that you shouldn't have to feel like you have to know everything about a person in order to sympathize. English. I'm sorry. Sympathize or empathize with them. You shouldn't have to like know everything about a person from the moment they've been born to like them. Like, I don't know. That's another thing. Anthropology or psychology, like the inner being, like the mind, the behavior behind people's actions. It's crazy. I don't know. Life is a gentle thing. I love that song, by the way. Please tell me someone also got that reference. But I don't know. Things have just been really about like being better. If you couldn't tell, a lot of these obsessions I've developed recently are about becoming better, about leaving behind a bad part of yourself and turning over a new leaf, in a way. I think there's just something really beautiful about that. And I really like the idea of being able to do that. So there is that. Those are my four things I've been obsessed with recently. Becoming like those, how did I word it earlier? Like those, self-improvement, like lifestyle videos. I've been obsessed with those. Number 2 is self-love. 3 is mindfulness. 4 is like psychology / anthropology. Don't quote me on that. This one's my personal favorite, despite it being number 5. Plushies, like gang. Oh my gosh! Like recently, I just got this new one. He's a squishmallow. His name is Charles. He's a little pickle. He's a pickle gentleman, bro. Like he's a pickle gentleman. Do you know? Like he's a 1 in a million pickle gentleman. Okay, he likes drawing in his free time. Like I fuck with that heavy. I have a bunch of plushies in my room. I have a bee plushie, like an owl plushie. I got like a little hippo dude who turns into an evil version of a frog plushie I already have. Like he switches inside out and he becomes like Evil Larry or something. Like that's a banger. I love squishmallows and plushies and like any. Oh, it's like that's cuteness. I love that. Hallelujah. I love like the major switch up I had between like a lot of like mind, like psychology kind of things, and then I just switched to plushies. That is actually something I've been obsessed with, by the way. But you know, anyways, the next time I yap again, I reckon it'll be doing something different. That I don't know. I don't really think I want to do this podcast thing forever, because like I found that I don't really like doing it. And most podcasts have like a topic behind them. Mine is just like yapping for no reason endlessly, and it was originally just like something a bunch of my friends said that they would enjoy like listening to, but I don't really see that anymore, so I don't really see a point in continuing this. I mean, maybe one day in the future we might come back to this, but I think I'll leave it at this for now. I guess I get you. I bet you weren't expecting this to be the last episode, huh? Yeah. I think I'm gonna dedicate some time to reflecting a little bit before making the decision of whether or not I want to do something. But I was considering perchance doing gameplay videos. Perchance, as my friend would say, perchance. I don't know. I do love to yap, generally speaking. I do. But only if it doesn't feel forced. Like, this feels very, very forced. And, like, no one likes someone who's forcing themselves to be something, you know? It doesn't feel natural. Like, especially if, like, you can tell. Like, what? It's just not very fun to watch. But, I don't know. I feel like if I brought on like commentary for like a gameplay video or something, I could get a kick out of that. Or like I put in like my little channel bio or whatever, like song covers. I love music, banger. But that's that, I guess. But like I said, I'll be doing some reflection before I decide whether or not I will be doing those gameplay videos, and I'll have to like do this whole thing. I don't know. I already have a mic because I was supposed to like be making the podcast episodes on my pewter, but like my pewter decided to malfunction, and it's just my mic's collecting dust, guys. Oh, so I might do those gameplay videos without a webcam because I'm poor, but I don't know if you're listening to this, I guess I'll catch you on the flip side. But like I said, final thing, I'll reflect a bit before deciding, and I'll probably do a community post or whatever before I make the final decision of whether or not I do. And I'll probably do a little announcement if I do. And if anything, if I do choose to do it, I'm doing it for me. I like playing video games and I like yapping, so I don't see why I shouldn't, but one way or another, that's it. That I hope this helps. But once again, I'll catch you on the flip side. And maybe we'll come back to this podcast like little I don't know. I'll change it, but it won't be the same. But I don't know how one ends this kind of thing, so I guess I'll just catch you on the flippy. Bye. I love you. I hope you have a good day after this, and that you take care of yourself until we maybe meet again. Drink water and make sure you eat something. Get some proper rest, even if it's NyQuil or melatonin induced. It's good stuff. Thank you for listening, and I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you. I'm making this all dramatic, but this wasn't even a big thing. Whatever. Like I said, final one. I'll catch you on the flippy, and maybe we'll see each other again sometime. Bye.